chat. Wow, that is glary. We're going to have to turn that down even more. Is that the lowest you go? Way too bright for the camera. Hello everyone. Welcome. Making all sorts of changes. Got all sorts of new stuff coming. Most of it, I don't know if chat's really going to be able to see all of it. Yeah, chat's not going to see a lot of it. There will be a new camera set up here. In the near future. Hello, Will. Steak up off? Not tonight. We'll be doing fish and chips tonight. That was pretty heavy-handed. First pour there, we'll give that a moment. The audio isn't matching the video on my end. Actually, I don't know if it is on my end either. I haven't changed any settings that should affect that. I haven't even changed the audio on this. I haven't changed anything that deserves this. It actually, well, oh no, there's a delay. Is that better? That looks better. Yeah, that looks better. Battery's dying. Oh, no worries, Cosmic. Very much thank you for letting me know. I mean, I would be mad if someone's trolling me with something like that. Okay, these are going to take a bit of charging, but... Okay, that's something I'm going to have to do after stream. This is an after stream Jason problem. This is going to be a first thing in the morning Jason problem. So how's everyone today? It's about the simplest and easiest way. Allows you to explore all types of different coffees without mucking up some, cheapo machine that doesn't really make good coffee to begin with. Awesome, Cosmic. New batteries, this thing's gonna try and yep, a little bit of a spill, we'll leave it at that. Don't need foamy bubbles, they're nice though. Cheers, chat. Thank you for joining me. Why not, Fry? You can order stuff from all over the place easily. Yeah, it's all a matter of where you are, what you can get. I mean, I used to have a business that sold coffee and hot coffee, not coffee beans. And I have people, I'd be running a mobile operation where I'm transporting my own water, I'm cleaning everything mobily, and they'd be like, why can't you give me coffee at the same price as Jack and the Crack? Because they offer like something like 48-cent veteran price coffees. I couldn't even afford that with my packaging costs as a small business operator versus, a major corporation. But let's get things together here for our potatoes to start. Excuse me. Cold water. Hey, Fluffy. I'm peeling and then cutting. Normally I would peel everything and then cut it, but potatoes oxidize so quickly that in order to keep some nice color on them, white color on them, get them into the water quick instead of turning brown and nasty. Oh, is the command off? I wrote it tonight. I forget to re-enable it. There we go. There's people that advocate for leaving it in water overnight. Not a huge fan of that method. I don't know that it necessarily does anything better than just cooking them, parboiling them. But I have had places make me do that. You know, peel a bunch of potatoes at the end of the night before. It was sort of a lazy inventory thing too, because then you could, you know, just make sure and peel as many potatoes as you use during service that way and that day, and that way you have at least as much prepped. Of course, that's the first thing that goes out the window when you got a new cook in the kitchen, or you know, things are just going not well that day. Got some light going on here. There was one in the store there that almost made me like, maybe I'll go to another store for these. bitch. Ooh. So you got our potatoes underwater. I'm going to drain this water and actually refill it to get the starch that was immediately on them off. And then again, cold tap water to cover with an inch or two. Depends on what you're going after. In this case, I do want to get a lot of that initial starch off of them, but that's because I want a somewhat more even layer right now for boiling them and cooking the outside starch. So that gets all like gummy cooked at this point with the water and a relatively lower temp than what we're going to be doing with the fryer. And so we get the outsides of these cooked and sort of like gummy, sort of like, you know, mixing flour or water, something along that line. And then when we hit it with the fry oil, that's going to create a whole bunch more extra starch on the outside and give us almost like a batter finish, you know, that true, you know, toast fried fry sort of exterior. Okay, so what else do we need going here? We'll get those started cooking. Come on, flame up. Are you flaming for me? Yeah. I did some light cleaning underneath this burner just before the stream, so things are still I always worry. Even though my finger can handle it, I always worry this little thing in plastic is gonna melt on it. But it's nice to not have to waste the matches or something like that. You can just recharge this with a little micro USB. You can also add some baking soda into this party here while we're doing this. And that should help a little bit with keeping them from falling apart while cooking. A little bit. They're still going to be cooked. They're going to fall apart. Yeah, no, it's more depends on how worried they're about getting things done. a lot of it's just stupid young adult, masculinity stuff like, ooh, look at me. Look at me ruin my hands. On the other hand, one of the resorts, I've told this story before, but one of the resorts I worked at, the sous chef would regularly pick up pans direct out of a 400 degree oven, just hold them and wait for everyone else to catch up. Because what would happen is we were working with a conveyor oven, which is a really big oven with like 8-10 layers to it. I forget how many, I think it was 8, that would just spin. And so if things are done cooking, you got to take them out now because you got other stuff cooking in the back and the top and the bottom, and it ain't going around again. And so we would have tables full, and he'd be like pulling pans out and holding them. Now that's like more like necessity. I've heard stories of people that went out on college extern and were handed wet towels to work with on saute in their first night, as a hazing / get your butt in gear type thing. That shit all needs to go from the industry. It won't, but let's dry off our fish. That'll be a good project for the moment. We got a couple of other projects here. I'm going to do a dip and sauce. We got to make our batter up here soon before. Ooh. It's glad I got into this now, because this is not defrosted. Let's use this. Not you, Mr. Wiggles. You can go elsewhere. half cup cornstarch. Cup of flour. Garlic. Light cayenne here. And I'm going to sub in a little chili powder because I don't have any paprika. Salt. MSG. Pepper. My own personal little change up here. Little drop or two of sesame oil. And then Anchor Steam. I've had Anchor Steam on stream before. They're a San Franciscan beer. Have a very interesting process for producing their beer. It's one of the few or only brewery in the U.S. that has open cooling vats. Open air, as in like they're in like downtown San Francisco, and the building above them just doesn't have a roof in parts where they have their cooling vats. And I think one of those is probably going to go for that. We'll leave the rest for after I'm done with my cup of coffee. I'm going to actually sort of try and power through that because I want some beer. Let's grab one of the larger whisks for this. Just really whisking to combine. Get those lumps out. There be our beer batter. And throw that in the fridge. If you're going to leave it in there, I'm only going to leave it in there for a little bit. But if you're going to put it in there for a while, put some plastic wrap over the top. But you can and should let this rest for a little bit right now for your best results. You don't want to do, it's just like you don't want to do a pancake batter. This is very similar sort of thing here, but with beer. So it's best to let this sit right now. Let that flour completely hydrate. Let that cornstarch completely hydrate. And yeah. So we can come back to this when we're ready. Getting close on the bubble here. We want this to come up to a nice decent boil for a minute or two here over on left hand side of the stove here. I'm so torn on how much I want to reveal about what's coming up because I don't know how much of it is actually what I want to do. That's a thought too. Can that thing fold like this? Of course, I'm thinking of ideas for stream while on stream. No, it doesn't quite fold enough for what I want. Pretty close though. Yeah. Yeah, let's not even get this dirty. I'm not saving the white. Anyone noticing any differences between tonight's stream and past ones? No, I just like mayo made with proper oils that are decent. An actual egg yolk. There's a couple of brands out there that do that, though. So maybe partly right, I don't know. What exactly am I putting in there? I am doing the very basic steps to making a mayo, which is a raw egg yolk, and then we are emulsifying in a considerable amount of oil into that egg yolk. And I'm not going to put near that much into this, and we're not working with clarified butter. But I once worked with a saucier who had a steam table, which is sort of like a old school sous vide. It's a table that you can put controlled steam on, keep it very evenly temperatured for hot holding sauces and stuff like that without the... Like, it's almost the exact same as those things you see in buffets with the pans over the top of it, but without the pans in there. And he was adamant that he could get 22 ounces of oil into a single egg. I'm starting off with sunflower oil, organic sunflower oil, for cost and for... I think it actually thickens much better after doing this several times than olive oil. So, olive oil for flavor, but cheap organic. And I often use sunflower oil. It's been a while since I've mentioned this. I often use sunflower oil because it has the actual lowest footprint for production. If you think about how packed in you can get sunflower, have you ever seen those pictures of sunflower fields? You can pack them in, I think, even tighter than corn. And comparing that to other. And there's studies behind that. That's not just me saying that. There we're going in with some basic organic olive oil. This is not anything special. They've changed hands recently, so the ones in Sonoma I'm not so familiar with, but there are olive oil producers all over Sonoma. A lot of them are vineyards because you can grow olive trees near and around vineyards, and they often do. I've had some absolutely beautiful vinegars from vineyards too that, you know, hey, the wine didn't work out this year. Let's make some vinegar. I'll show you in a moment. Yep, buns. We're getting just thick enough that we're getting to the point where I like to add a little something else in here as far as flavoring, or just a little bit of water works too. We're going to turn these potatoes off now. But let's zoom in and show. I'm only going to add a little bit of water here, but let's show chat what adding just a little bit of water does. Is that showing up so much on camera? Not really. A little bit right where it is, but there we go. The other major reason is that egg is expensive and is very likely to be the thing that spoils sold mayonnaise. And so if it is in there, typically it's in very small amounts, and they use other stabilizers and other things to use less of it. I've seen photos out there of stores where the mayo had broken because the store had gotten too hot, or it got too hot in transportation, and it's just like a little layer of junk with oil. It does not last well. I mean, I wouldn't trust it to last well. I mean, I'm dealing with raw egg here to begin with. I use nice organic eggs to have somewhat more of a trust of that, but I've gone back to sunflower just to thicken this up a bit more once again. I'd save it overnight. I'd save it maybe approaching 48 hours, but even that's getting a little But hey, the hospitals aren't all that busy right now, so make your own risk assessment. I am not an advisor. Follow the FDA guidelines. That is my official US-based guidance. Yes, would not recommend. However, it's also very hard to tell what actually made you sick. I've showed the page before, but in many cases, things sit in your gut for days, weeks, months before they actually show up in some certain cases. In many cases, it's they're building up strength because you don't really have an immunity, but they're not really strong enough to do anything yet. But some of them just sit there. And that new fungus that's going around, they're talking about, well, it sounds like it's more newly discovered fungus that's already been hitting us for ages. Let's not even get into that. It's sort of like scary. I'm gonna kill what viewers I do have tonight. That needs to be a bit thicker, so we need more oil in there. I was trying to put that away, but we need more. We've got that going on. Yeah, we've got this fungus thing going on that's been in the news lately. We've got this fish. Have you heard about this invasive fish that's like in the South U.S. and they're trying to prevent it from spreading in the Southern U.S.? That actually, when it gets too overpopulated, they actually start crawling out on land and can breathe air and seek other waters to propagate. And they're telling people, like, I think this is in Florida, definitely like far south somewhere, they're telling people to not to put these in the freezer to kill them. Problem here is I need to make this relatively thick because I'm adding other stuff into it that's going to loosen it up. Like relish. Yep, cosmic. I don't want any part of, yeah. Oil's water than thicker. That's why it works so good for coating bread for your sandwiches. Create that thin layer of oil so that the water from tomato, lettuce, in your meats sweating, from your meat sweat. It's protection from your meat sweat. But I was saying, yeah, we need some decent oil in this. We need this to be like, I'm making sort of like a tartar-like sauce. It's not going to be tartar sauce, but it's going to be close enough that can't tell on camera. And then let's pull the star of tonight's show out here. Where are you? Can't even call it malt, but fish and chip vinegar. Nope, my mic's still there. Okay, now I added malt vinegar or cheaper version of malt vinegar in there. And that's what's going to be a major change from normal mayo. Normal mayo, you would have lemon, maybe a couple of drops of Tabasco in there. Very light, small amounts of heat, like the cayenne I put in the batter, or that little bit of Tabasco you put in that sauce, actually work the same way, sort of like lemon, almost like a palate cleanser. That heat does very good to, hide what other you've been eating beforehand. You take alcohol and have mother consume it. A bacteria. Actually, I don't know if it's a bacteria. I don't know specifically if it's a bacteria or a fungus. I don't think it's a Scooby. Bit of garlic. Add some mustard in here, which you would add in regular mayo too. Maybe not in this amount, but mustard. Many people on the frugal end that love vinegar and actually want to actually have the time to care for it. Like, I see a lot of horror stories too. But a lot of people just take whatever wine, say you're drinking wine and you're like me and you don't like wine if it's left overnight. You don't want to drink it. Throw it in a jug with a mother. And it's sort of like the family, you keep adding different wines to it. It keeps turning acidic. You can pull off of it, sort of like a, what do you call it? Kombucha. Oh, I didn't add any pepper there. Did I add any MSG there, chat? We need MSG in this. Yep, there you go. Red wine vinegar would be making what I was describing. Do I have a bottle of it right now? I have a bottle of apple cider, but all of them are the same way. Booze didn't sell, turn it into vinegar. That or hand wash, mouthwash. And now we're adding in our herbage, which is going to be dill and thyme, not cilantro. I forgot I had freeze-dried cilantro. I haven't been able to find it. I was looking for it. Did I finish off my bottle of dill? I guess we're going without dill tonight. Ice wine's an interesting product too. It's often another one of those, the grapes didn't turn out right, but they're still on the vine in this case. And you leave ice wine, the grapes, the traditional way of doing it. I'm sure they don't always do it this way now. They probably just reduce it in many cases these days. But traditionally, ice wine, the grapes are left on the vine until the first frost, when the ice crystals are able to pierce the fruit and help break it down a little bit. And then they process it, and so it's much more condensed. It's been reduced. The sugars are at their maximum. I am continuing to use cod. I'm using actually the rest of that package I used last time I did frying fish for the tacos. It's just been in the freezer frozen. Well, I put it in the fridge yesterday, but that only got it half unfrozen. Let's see how we're doing over here. Are we defrosted? Oh yeah, we're feeling like we're okay now. But we're not quite ready for you. I'm gonna leave you in the water where you're nice and cool. The fish, I'm talking to the fish, chat. That's a funny joke. It's even more funny when you realize that the US is actually officially on the metric system, and we convert it to our own messed up system. Lake perch, but I rarely ever have it. Someone's going down a rabbit hole of looking into the specifics of a kilogram. Least favorite? I just don't do a whole lot of seafood to begin with. I mean, I'm supposedly very minorly allergic to shellfish. Some of them I think the work isn't worth the value. I mean, like, just give me some good crab. Skip the lobster. I've had some langoustines essentially small lobsters that are far more flavorful than little wine bar that I worked at in West Hollywood had langoustines, grilled langoustines. I didn't work on the hotline there. It was one of my first cooking jobs. I think they were cooked langoustines, and they're so flavorful. They're amazing. They were so pricey though. They were like the top item on the menu, price-wise. So whatever pickling liquid there is going to loosen that up along with the pickles. And so that's also why we're doing a thicker mayo here, because you can already see how much thinner that is now. It's now running. I mean, it's thick enough that it's going to coat nicely, so I'm okay with that. I wish I had some dill and some paprika. Adding paprika or red things are going to also make this a little less yellow and a little more white to the eye, but that's more your eye being tricked, what's going on there. Same thing with water actually though, it's just reflecting more. Okay, I think it's beer time. Beer o'clock. Anchor Brewing Crisp Pilsner. Anchor Steam just recently downsized, and so I actually just made the decision to buy them because I appreciate their beer. I like their beer. I just don't buy beer a whole lot. And I think the cuts they're making are healthy as long as they're necessary. Cheers, folks. Things such as, they've been around for ages, obviously, if they've got open air vats. You know, modern day health, they would say, heck, no, there's birds and stuff flying over that, no. And so they were one of the first breweries out there that I know of that were doing like specialty things. There's probably someone out there that's an expert on this and be like, no, someone such and such, but they were early game, and they did a Christmas ale every year that was a different flavor, and they've discontinued that. But I sort of feel at the same time it's almost been played out, and the ones that I've had of those have all been like they're full of, you know, pine and, you know, wintry flavors that, give me a beer. So it's time to get some oil going here, I think. I'm going to take these potatoes off and put them on. Let's leave them here for the moment. Let's get this fish drying off though. Let's use this paper towel that's been sitting here for ages. Let's start by cutting this one off. The other three will be easier to work with together. This one's just sort of wonky compared to the others. It's a 6-pack that I cut 2 off of already. And and they all have a little liquid in with them, of course, because, you know, why not, you know, a little extra money there. Actually, I'm going to cut all 3 of these apart just to make things a little bit easier. For those who are like, you're in Sonoma, you're right on the coast, why don't you have better fish than this? Blame my country. The way things are done, the way things are, capitalism. Everything's been reduced down so that pretty much all of the major fishermen, there's a few small boats that work out of the county, but the vast majority of them are working out of San Francisco. And so they're just going to major packers, which are then distributed, and that's sort of what I get to choose from in many cases. I can drive out to the coast, which is not quick because there's lots of hills and mountains, and what looks quick on a map is not quick in this county. And go to Half Moon Bay or alright, so let's open these up and inspect our fishies. These all have been packed, so some of them are sort of folded and much longer pieces of fish. Some of them are just thick boys. Can't tell which way is which with you. I guess you're just folded. I wish I could do this all on camera here. Soon. Alright, typically when you're looking for any nasties or anything crawling on these, you're looking for something actually curled up, typically in a coil, which is prevalent in cod. Freezing it does a pretty good job, but not necessarily all you need. And this brand here has been pretty good about that. I haven't found any yet on this brand. I have found it on other ones, namely stuff direct from the counter at one of my supermarkets. Like that looks like that could be, let's give that a cut. I don't think it is, but better safe than sorry. I don't know how many of you are excited about the idea of having parasites in your gut. A lot of us do, by the way. I don't know what the modern statistic is, but I've heard statistics that 1 in 3, after they have passed, they've discovered they got something growing in them that they didn't necessarily know about, or, was, medically there. We need to know a lot more about the body than we do. I mean, modern science is amazing. We're doing all sorts of crazy stuff, but we still don't know near enough. This might be a little, well, I'm not doing it, so I'm not going to advocate it for or against, but we're back into people complaining about people doing things. They're actually growing human embryos again for more early birth testing and study for better reproduction, better. And it gets on that, edge between, is the information worth? That's going to be a touchy subject. That's going to be, be like talking about abortion on stream. Not that plan. Not a good plan. So we want to dry off our fish as much as possible here. So I'm going to actually leave the paper towel against it here for a little bit to continue to wick away water. Flour. Wow, that's still rather zoomed. realizing that I forgot something in our tartar sauce. Our faux tartar sauce. Need that savory kick. Now let's just mix it up with a spoon at this point. Gotta have that fermented tamarind. Dad joke. What's worse than finding a parasite in your fish? I'm gonna throw this into the water, into the refrigerator. Yeah, maybe I am. Let's get some oil heating. Let's start heating up our oven too, because we're going to need our oven to keep warm. Set the oven to 200. It goes down to 170, but we'll stop at 200 tonight. Yeah, Pro Streamer. Here's one thing I can tell, chat. I'm going to be able to use these lights again soon. That's funny. Scramble yet again, Psychic. I was actually sitting here thinking about the idea of adding 10 to 20% cornmeal into my dredge and what type of effect that would have on my overall fish. Okay, this one piece of fish here is a bit long, so we're going to cut this one into two. And we're going to throw a couple of these pieces into the flour like I would with fried chicken. Give it a minute or two in the flour. Don't just rush things, you know. It's not a one-night stand. It's well, the whole too long thing is wonderful if you got one of those commercial deep fryers that's got a vat that's about this size, you know, but it's got to fit in there. I can only fit so much. Take our potatoes out. Trying to keep them individual wedges while removing the majority of our water here. I'm thinking potatoes before fish. So surprisingly, these are not completely cooked through, but if you look at them closely, you can see the outsides of them are sort of slightly cooked and not exactly got that sort of like starchy buildup that's going to be allow us to get a little more crispy on the outside because it's got more to fry up. Hello, Mulligan. How you been? Bonds, what are you clipping now? Darn bot, I don't even know what she titled it because... Oh. Break out the tweezers tonight. If only because I like these better than tongs for this, because you can still easily pick up a full piece of fish with these, but they're gonna mess up the batter a lot less. Let's get rid of the water on the stove here. That's just not a good combo with frying action. I will point out to chat, we do have the proper lid for this. just inches off to the side here. So prepared for flare-ups, things along that line, hopefully. I'll open the window here. It is getting warm in here. And I'll step out of frame for just one moment here, chat. Apologize for that. But like I said, it's getting hot in there. Spot cuisine getting, not only themselves but me in trouble apparently with the Japanese. Upon my behalf, I apologize for anything my bot has done. I'm actually doing pretty good today. I've been doing pretty good here for quite a while here. For a minute there, I thought I was getting sick. Yeah, I was a little less. I've been clawing my way back. Just a little bit every day, a little bit more. How we doing here temp-wise? We ready to start frying? Almost. We're starting with our taters. Good, keep her distracted. Squirrel technique. Video looking nice to everyone tonight. Nice, clear, crisp. Yep, crudo. Are you not familiar with crudo? It's alright, I've already forgotten what it was myself. Ooh, I just thought of something. That needs to happen tonight. Remember this, chat? What was that? That was a giant scoop full of duck fat. Probably helping kill our oil temp here, but yeah, we're way down on the oil temp there, but we're catching up. We're definitely getting there. The smaller ones are pretty much there. Bigger ones, we're going to give a little bit more time to. Well, we're going to give them all a little bit more time for the big ones. Because it's not like we're going to be burning the small ones. They're just going to be a little more crispy. Hopefully the bubbles aren't lagging too much for chat. I'm catching it a little bit on my end where what are my stats saying? Program. Yeah, Stream Deck wants attention. I don't care about you, Stream Deck. Yeah, we've lost 0.5% of frames to rendering. But this is what you want when you're frying, by the way, chat. You want light bubbles. You don't want any foam. You don't want any other stuff going on here. Just gorgeous light brown potato. Oops. Wait for our oil temp to come back up to temp. We got another 50 degrees to catch back up there. We'll bring these over here. Break out the fine salt. Don't want any steam action, so we want them single layer. Nice. I might give these a second try. These are tasting quite lovely. They're nice and snow filled in the center. Yeah, that perfect French fry like texture that McDonald's searches for. Somewhere between mashed potatoes and potato snow. I don't know if all of these are going to make it. Where's that? Gotta try our gonna make sure, taste test our tartar sauce and make sure it's up to par for with our that'll do nicely. I'm tempted to do further testing, but I'm going to refry these. I'm going to give these a second crisp up. Alright, going in with batch number 2. Hopefully the rest of these. I don't know if I'm going to fit the rest of these in here or not. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to leave it at that and do one more batch. You know, I look at the drama and the stuff that's going on in the beer industry right now, and I sort of wonder how much of it is actually engineered. I mean, have we gotten to the day and age where Bud Light is just a beer they want to get rid of, but they can't publicly get rid of it? I mean, they've successfully sunk Corona to make Modelo a fan favorite and much higher production beer. There's certainly some delicious dessert wines out there. And I sort of started off with the sweeter wines to begin with before I started getting into the more complicated and savory ones. Like, some of the first wine I drank was cheap, sweet Riesling. There was a $3, $4? The local liquor store in New York near the CIA had a cheap German, I think it was a Riesling, but a cheap German wine. It was $3-4 wine, really sweet. Like, you know, $3-4. You're in college. It's wine, and you're in culinary school. I mentioned the brand to my friend. I don't remember the name of the brand anymore. But I mentioned the brand to a friend of mine who was stationed in Germany with the military at a younger age. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's swill." Oh, dad joke. Anyone else out there celebrating their Tuesday? For the better. Especially if you're feeling like you're coming down with, you don't need. Booze is just going to drive your systems even more haywire. Make your body hurt and ache even more tomorrow. 6-hour meeting. Ugh. Hopefully you were sitting and absorbing and not presenting. And we're back. You had to pay attention the entire time and make corrections to the people presenting. No rest for you. Boo. No fun. Why is that working? That shouldn't be working right now. Why isn't that working right? All sorts of things going funky here. You, turn off. Yeah, there we go. Maybe that's working right now. Who knows? I think the bot was delayed there. And I got delayed, so I stopped paying attention to these. These are slightly more than what we did with our first batch. So we're going to pull these off of the flame now, or out of the oil. Let them drip dry a little bit. You can see how those are slightly more brown than the first batch. We're going to spread those out a little bit so they don't steam each other, so they keep as crispy as possible. And salt. Really good at correcting people in your industry. Sounds like your boss doesn't want to do their part. Or it sounds like your boss wants to remain being the good guy, good person. Reminded me of my cousin who always got roped with firing people because her bosses didn't want to do it when she was a kid, when she was in one of her first jobs. I think we need to do a taste test on each of these to make sure they're all in compliance. That was acceptable. Nice and warm on the inside. Ooh, yummy. Could be your boss just didn't want to pay attention in the meeting. And to be frank, I don't know if I necessarily blame them. Of course, I'm also good at looking at the bad side of things. I'm very good at that, unfortunately. Exactly. They need you. Bun's always making chat feel welcome and happy. So chat, I don't know, do I try and rush myself and get all the new stuff here for the beginning of the month? Or do I do it for the 4-year anniversary, which is more like the 19th, 20th, something like that of the month? Maybe the 16th, but it gives me another 2 weeks to get things situated. What are these things you speak of? Well, I'm not being very revealing in what I'm doing, but we're changing things up with the cameras, and maybe with the layout, maybe not. We'll see. Maybe just a couple of extra scenes, maybe not. We'll see. Oh, it's a happy birthday song. Alright, all nicely coated in some fine salt. These are going into the oven to hang out while we do our fish. No, Buns, I don't want to get a DMCA. But if you listen to this song, I said it because of the early hint. Once it breaks into it again, you'll be obvious. Once we get that saxophone back in full force. Is it not? I thought it was. There's our beer batter. Our cornstarch and flour and beer batter with seasoning. think I'm going to start with just 2 pieces here. Let's make sure our oil is getting up to temp here before we throw them in the beer batter. Okay, we're good there. Cod. Yes, it would be cod. I'm not expecting a ton of bubbling from this beer batter. I didn't add any leaveners in here, any chemical leaveners. There's no baking powder or baking soda, that sort of a thing. There's no egg in here. Let's give this a shot. It's looking all right. That's surface temps, not the actual oil temps. Important to know the difference, but gets us in the ballpark of knowing where we're at. It saves me from cleaning up my probe. Come on, flip. There we go. I think there's a fair amount of jazz and instrumental on New Year's. Trying to think timing wise, making sure we got enough cook time on this fish. They're starting to look nice and golden brown at this point. We've gotten probably close to enough time. There we go. We'll take these little crunchies out though. Save those. Fine salt over those. And let's go in with our next piece here. I'm going to do a single piece here and then 2 pieces to finish. We just want a nice light solid coating on this. We don't want to cause any bubbles going on. Do want it all coated though. This is sort of our batter glue. That flour glues our batter to our fish. Ooh, we got a couple new chatters in here. Thank you for the raid, Andrew Cooks. Welcome in, everyone. Yeah, we're doing some cod fish and chips. I'm drinking a little Anchor Steam, supporting the lovely San Francisco brewery. I think I was drinking this the last time you gave me a raid, or one of the last couple of times you gave me a raid. Appreciate you sharing your community with us. What were we doing tonight, Andrew? What were we drinking tonight? As a beer drinking stream, what are your thoughts on the new moderation tools for Twitch? It is greatly cutting back its distribution. It's no longer producing its Christmas ales, which I hate to see it go on one end. On the other hand, I was saying, I think they were one of the first ones out there with sort of like a themed beer. And it's sort of like, for them, it's almost like played out. But yeah. And I thought, I had heard that, and I decided, well, let's drink some Anchor Steam. We've got our potato wedges already, they've been boiled, and I fried them once, and I'm thinking I'm going to give them a second fry because they're nice and crisp and cooked through, and they got that perfect snowy center, but they're still a little light. Egyptian red beans, I've not heard of an Egyptian red bean stew. I'm all about bean stews. I'm going to have to look that up now. Buns with the puns. But aside from potatoes and fish, we have some homemade, remoulade, homemade tartar sauce, homemade something or other. This needs to go back into the fridge. Give this fish one more turn here. I have, what is the name of the stuff that I have? Did I put it back away? I have fish and chip vinegar. It's I think cheaper than malt. 100% natural malt vinegar. I guess I didn't read the whole label there. But fish and chip vinegar. And so there's a little bit of that sprinkled in here. There's also a little sesame oil in here. But I enjoy malt on my fries and my fish. I always feel like I'm grossing everyone else around me out, though, because, it's not like there's fish and chips spots around me. So it's not like everyone around me is eating fish and chips, and the malt smell is just, You know, you feel like that. The one smelly dude. Not that I'm not already, but I mean, even more so. Welcome in my face, Dab. How you doing this evening? Alex of Ohio, welcome in. Thank you so much for that raid once again. Let's pull this piece of fish off of the oil. We'll hit that up with fine salt. Fine salt specifically because kosher salt, when you're putting it on things like that, it just tends to fly right back off. And I went and got my thing too far away from me. And my earbud's trying to sneak out again. There we go. Like, there's actually a chain here in Sonoma County that does a pretty good fish and chips, but it's certainly not like the only thing they do. They're much more of a beer garden. They're owned by someone in the Gordon Biersch family. So that's actually where I'm thinking about, where, you know, like, yeah, they got a good fish and chips, but they're also got burgers and all other sorts of stuff that don't have malt vinegar involved. And it's almost, you feel like the dude with you remember the old school meme with the guy that talks too loud on his phone? I sort of feel like that with malt vinegar. That should do our batter in, but we'll leave that there for the minute, just in case. For fish, we're gonna throw in the oven at 200. I've got an oven at 200 degrees. That's where my chips are right now after their first fry. We're gonna swap fries for fish while I give the second fry on the chips. Oh, how I wish I had a large outdoor fryer and wok set up. Pizza oven too, just, you know, you have to. But outdoor fryer and outdoor wok, so, you know, I can go out there and do all the crazy stuff and not worry about burning my house down, sort of a thing. Or in my current case, burning my landlord's house down. Don't plan to do that. Don't get the wrong idea. That's not going to happen tonight. Been living here a decade. Okay with not burning it down. I'm calling it. That's it for the flour tonight. Flour be done. Batter be done too, but that's going down the sink, I think. A lot of that's helped by having a strainer, by straining your oil nice and keeping it clean. But yeah, I mean, overnight it's going to leave it, but you give it a nice strain through multi-straining filter. Generally okay. Awesome. So we're gonna, as I was saying, we're gonna swap our fish for our fries. Oven's already up nicely to temp. I'm gonna kill that now so that it doesn't keep heating those pieces of fish. And we got our fries here. And I think I'm gonna try and do just 2 batches here with this second batch of our fries. Second run of our fries. It is, yes. You notice I am using a pan with several inches of space, and I'm actually pushing how tight I would like this. I don't love frying in this pan, but it's great for streaming. But I've got at least a solid 2 inches there of space on that. I would say even more than that. I got a much bigger pot that I typically, real pot. That's the major one. And you'll also notice me wiping this top edge down because I want to, keep flame from licking up over the side or anything and jumping into that pot in any form. Ooh, crispies. You really want, you're really after the the crust on these, you really want that outside batter. You can take the rest of the fish batter that you have. You can even sweeten it up with a little bit of sugar or honey or something like that, and then toss your fries through that for their second fry. I'm not going to do that, but if you want that, Burger King batter like crust on your fries, I think I'm good with that. Fine salt. Second batch in. Almost there, chat. We're plating up here in the next 5. Plating up here in the next 3. The music stop, chat? Or is that just me? You got music still playing? Yeah, we do. It's just quiet. Alright, flame off of our oil finally. Salt. I went and got them dirty. Okay. get some photos. Makes me wish I had some lemon or lime or something to throw on there, but it's just so pricey these days. The cartels are asking for so much. I think we all know this is getting opened. So there we go. I think that is going to be dinner for tonight. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Not quite yet. We gotta go over here. It's still even. You're making me do this, chat? It's even, so I'm flipping a coin if someone changes their votes too late. We're gonna say heads to popcorn. Okay, chat? Sorry, Buns. Eggplant is immediately available to be added back onto the ingredient suggestion list if someone would want to do that. But it has lost. And so tomorrow, dinner and dessert, somehow incorporating popcorn as an ingredient. I'll have to figure something out. Let's have some fun with it, I hope. Did I get all my photos with the beer and everything here? Take one or two more here just to be safe. This is a delicious looking dinner tonight. Very happy to be partaking in this and sharing it with all of you. But yes, I do believe it is that time now. I didn't check. Did Discord post? Okay, we posted for Discord. Okay. Good. Okay. So who's out there in Twitch land tonight? What is going on here, Windows? Okay, I'm getting too much issue with network stuff, so I will not be raiding anyone tonight. Greatly appreciate everyone joining with me tonight for Fish and Chips. Gonna be back here tomorrow night with popcorn is an ingredient challenge, 4:30 Pacific, same start time as it was today. Additionally, tomorrow morning, more Minecraft. I'm doing Minecraft on YouTube and Kick in the mornings, Tuesdays through Saturdays. So, Minecraft in the morning on Kick and YouTube, Twitch for the ingredient challenge tomorrow night, and lots more fun in the future. Thank you all for joining in with me tonight. Greatly appreciate that. Hope to see you back soon. Good night.